Hello Pisces, welcome to your reading. It's good to see you. This is a timeless collective reading for anyone with major Pisces placements, or if you were just intuitively guided here, I'm sure there's a message for you as well. So, Pisces, I've been connected to your energy for about 5 days now. I first started to get a little inkling of your energy, your consciousness, on August 9th, which was the full moon in Aquarius. And I've been kind of getting like little hints about what's going on with your energy ever since, but today is August 14th, and it is now finally time to actually read for you. So there's been some kind of distinct shift within you unfolding over the last handful of days. I am picking up a lot of tumultuous emotions. So if you're a Pisces who is just doing great and everything is flowing beautifully in your life and you're on cloud 9, this may not be the reading for you. You may feel called to it at a later time. All my readings are timeless. But of course, if you feel guided to watch it just for fun, you can do that too. My readings are always intended to inspire introspection first and foremost. But I just thought I'd put that out there. I want to be upfront immediately about the fact that I'm tuning into a collective within the collective of Pisces that's been really feeling something heavy. There's been something heavy on your heart, or at least a kind of nebulous sense of confusion. It's almost like a cloud of confusion that you've been trying to navigate. So I do have some notes here, a few channeled messages that came through, and then we'll jump into the cards. 222 on the timer. Okay, so actually, the very first thing that came through for you when I connected very intentionally to you yesterday was Taurus. So that was kind of surprising. This could be a few different things, but I do have a feeling specifically. So maybe you have major Taurus placements, or maybe you're dealing with somebody in your life who is a Taurus. You might be waking up to the fact that a certain painful pattern in your life stems from interactions with a Taurus in the past. Take it if it resonates. Whether that's the case or not, I feel for most of you, like you're simply dealing with the archetypal expression of Taurus energy. And of course, this is associated with the Hierophant. And I do feel like you're interacting with Taurus energy in shadow. So this is like feeling stuck, slow moving energy, stubborn energy, doing something the same way you've always done it just because it's the way you've always done it, right? That kind of thing. I feel like this Taurus and shadow energy is something that you're trying to break free from. Okay. I was also getting angel number 888, like very, very specifically, over and over and over again. I also felt completely randomly inspired to try some, what you could call like automatic doodling. I don't really know what to call it, but this is kind of awkward, but I tried this new technique of channeling information. I don't know if I'm going to do it again. I might play around with it a little bit more, but I've never done this before. I know other people do it. I just felt inspired to try it. I just took a pen and I just started drawing random doodles on the paper. And so that's what that looks like. That was the result of that. It looks insane. I've never done that before, but and some things came out of it. I didn't really feel super connected to this process, but I've never done that before, and I did it for you. So there's something potentially important for you, or will be helpful for you, about automatic writing, or getting yourself into a more like meditative frame of mind and see what comes through you when you're in that kind of zoned out state. I don't know. I just thought I'd mention that. In general, I feel like you're really on the edge. There are a lot of built up emotions within you, causing a heaviness on your heart. These built up emotions, whether it's sadness or grief or just confusion, frustration, whatever it is for you, they need to be released. And I saw an image of water splashing onto the ground. So it wasn't really a wave that I saw. It was more so like if you were to take a snapshot of the base of a waterfall, that moment where the water plunges into the ground, or the water below it and creates this big upsplash. Or if you were to see somebody with a huge bucket of water just dump it straight onto the ground, like that kind of splash. It's almost like a deluge. That needs to happen. Some kind of emotional release needs to happen. I also saw gray jail bars, and that immediately made me think of both the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Wands, which both speak to this kind of stuck energy or confusion. And I feel, again, like this is related to the shadow archetype of Taurus energy. Like, you really want to break free of a pattern. And this pattern could look like so many different things. It's going to be different for each of you, but you're really wanting to free yourself from a paradigm. Okay. And your ability to break free of this energy, paradigm, pattern, it's tied to your capacity to release these built up emotions. Like, they go hand in hand. Okay. All right. Is there anything else I was getting here? Yeah, just a lot about your heart center. A lot about your heart center. Okay. Let's pull some cards now that it's been 8 minutes. Where do I want to start here? Let's go right into tarot. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot for you. All right. Show me Pisces. Just show me Pisces, please. Their general energy right now. Oh, and I was also getting the vision of you. It's like you're in a container, or maybe you're in those jail bars, right? And you're trying to find a way out, but no matter where you move mentally and emotionally, and maybe physically, but internally, it's like you're trying to find a way out of this paradigm, but you're running up against walls over and over and over again. It's like there is no way out. And it almost feels like being in quicksand. The harder you try to get out of where you are, the worse it's gonna be. The more you're just gonna panic and actually increase the negative emotions. So just like being in quicksand, I feel like there is some kind of invitation here for you to not resist or try to fix or escape these heavy emotions in your chest, but to sink into them, to release resistance to them completely. Like, be where you are, and then you'll stop sinking. Right? It is the non-resistance to the emotions, the acceptance and expression of the emotions that moves energy. Escaping in any way, trying to escape anything, just gets you more of what you're trying to escape, right? All right, show me Pisces. right, 3 jumped out. Oh my. Okay. Wheel of Fortune. This is one of my favorite Wheel of Fortune cards ever. It might be my favorite one. Reminds me of a dream catcher. The Queen of Swords. I almost said Queen of Wands. Gonna log that away. Okay. Queen of Swords. So you have 2 images of an owl here now. Owl energy is very significant for you right now. And, no big deal, the Fool. Okay. So. Ooh. I feel, first and foremost, like you are wanting to step into the Fool energy. It's like you wish you could. You wish you could be this fool, this little chick on the branch who's about to leap into a new beginning, a new paradigm, a fresh start, a clean slate. You want that weight of the past, that heavy shadow Taurus energy, you want it lifted from your heart so that you can step into a fresh start. Okay, so this Fool energy, it's almost like pulling at you, or you're on the brink, you're on the edge of being able to step into the Fool archetype. That's what you're on the brink of being able to give to yourself. But first comes this Wheel of Fortune card. And the Mother of Swords, Queen of Swords. They're tied together. Everything is in flux. The Wheel of Fortune is a very uncomfortable energy to move through, or it can be. It can be if you resist it, right? So much is changing because you're changing. The Queen of Swords is not only about discernment, incredible levels of discernment, but also the experience of feeling truth. So it's almost like that's kind of what you're waiting for, I feel. Well, that's interesting. I said you're waiting for, or you're looking for, this experience of feeling truth. Like you want to feel what your truth is, because feeling what your truth is the fuel to embark on a new adventure, step into the new paradigm. It's like you don't feel like you can give yourself that fresh start or escape this old energy until you get really clear on the truth of who you are, or the truth of yourself in a situation. But everything is in flux. So it's almost like your personal truth is maybe up in the air right now. Your truth is up in the air. Your truth is reorganizing itself. This is a moment, just like in the quicksand analogy, this is a moment in time that requires patience. Patience with yourself. Okay. But one thing is for sure. One truth within yourself you are connected to, and that is that you want to be free of this old energy, however it's showing up for you. You want to truly step into that Fool energy. You know that much. But like you're not quite sure how. What is this old energy? What is this heavy energy? This shadow Taurus energy? Like, what is that? And of course, owl is all about seeing in the dark. You are moving through the dark. Oh, and also on the 9th, on the full moon in Aquarius, when I first got connected to your energy, I saw a vision of a clamshell with a silver pearl inside. Very specifically, it was a silver pearl. And I was actually on the beach at night when I got that vision. And I knew, I wasn't sure at the time if it was for the collective, the whole collective, or if it was just for you. I knew your energy was somehow connected to that vision. I feel like it is just for you. So this silver pearl, it feels like this. I don't know why, it just like this feels like the pearl. The silver pearl, that is something that you're wanting to reveal. That feels like your truth. Your truth, maybe your new truth, an upgraded, updated truth. And that truth will catalyze you into, I'm hearing rocket launch you into the new paradigm you want to live in, the new paradigm you want to explore. This is so very much like inside work. When I say paradigm, I mean your perception of yourself and your life. So maybe it's almost like you're about to reveal your new truth to yourself, your new self-concept to yourself, and maybe the world at large. What is this old Taurus energy? Eight of Pentacles. It's so perfect. Oh my gosh. I mean, the Eight of Pentacles it's literally about repetition. In its exalted state, that's a beautiful thing, right? Doing something 800 million times makes you very, very good at it. It's also a form of coping. It's also a way of numbing out, right? It's also, repetition can be actually an expression of lack of presence. Right, doing something robotically. Tell me more. So this is something, this heavy energy that you're experiencing, or the situation that is making you feel heavy, this is something that you have felt before. Many times, I feel. You've been here before in some capacity, even if the details were slightly different. The Hanged Man. Stuck. Stuck in the pattern. It's so clear. But what is the pattern? So the Hanged Man comes before death. The Hanged Man comes before death. And I was literally just reading about the Hanged Man yesterday. You can think of it almost as like a death ritual, which I thought was the most beautiful, fascinating thing I've ever heard. But so in this context, it's almost like being indefinitely stuck right before the full death and transformation that would catalyze you into the Fool. You can't step into the Fool unless you move through death. And the whole cycle, right? The whole soul cycle. You've got to move through it. But this is rebirth. By definition, you must die in order to be reborn. But this is like suspended permanently in that energy right before death would happen. So maybe you're preventing yourself unconsciously, or some circumstances are preventing you from experiencing the full transformative power of death. The power of the Death card, right? Maybe there's something, I don't know, I'm getting with this Eight of Pentacles, there might be something about just like numbing out, just going through the motions of something to avoid sinking straight into exactly where you are. right? It is that non-resistance, that complete and total non-resistance to how you feel, that allows the energy to move, process, alchemize, and therefore die off, right? Very interesting. So let's get an oracle card. This is the Holler Moon Mountain Oracle. Okay. Oh. Also, I think I said angel number 888 kept coming up for you. 8 is associated with the strength card, right? So, you know, strength is about positively and productively engaging with your fears so as to not self-sabotage. So you're trying, I feel like you are trying to not self-sabotage in some way or sabotage a situation. But by definition, of course, this would imply that there's flares of fear, flares of anxiety coming up that you're having to directly deal with, face, and interact with. I feel you're being called to engage with your fears and anxieties in a really present, like fully present, non-resistant way, as opposed to just going through the motions of some kind of technique that is supposed to fix your emotions, right? That's really avoiding them. That's like low-key, unconsciously trying to avoid them. You know what I mean? Okay. All right. Tell me a little bit more. What do I ask? What else does Pisces need to know right now about what they're going through, what they're facing? Hang on. Tranquil. Deer. Okay. Ah. Rage at the bottom, and emotions underneath of that. Should I take this too? No. Okay. Well, rage and emotions being at the bottom of the deck, this is kind of like what's going on under the surface. On the surface, we're trying to just go through the motions. We're trying to be cool. We're trying to be calm. We're trying to be collected. We're trying to appear like we've got it all together. But a deer is a prey animal, and so it does hold a lot. It can hold a lot of anxiety, right? It's like ready to. I don't know. I'm just picking up like a lot of anxiety when I look at that deer, even though it says tranquil. It feels like the tranquility is something that is really constructed. And under the surface of things, there's just like roiling, boiling, overflowing emotions. Okay. I was also going to say, I just rearranged my room a little bit, and I moved that dresser thingy behind me now. So that's new. This is the first reading I'm filming where that whole thing is there. And that feels significant. You know, I have my red cloth on it. So the color red, I feel, is significant for you, and now you've got rage here. So I feel like your emotions are as in flux as your reality is. You're external. Your internal and external are equally in flux in some way. There's a lot of emotions here. I'm not just feeling rage. Honestly, I wasn't really feeling rage when I tuned into you. I was feeling more of like grief, distraught, again, confusion. But I did also hear the word tempest as well, and tempestuous. So maybe you are dipping in and out of anger or frustration as well. I mean, if you're constantly trying to escape this old paradigm and you can't find a way out, because in reality you have to just completely sink into exactly where you are, yeah, that can be frustrating. Okay. So let's go into some advice. Should I do the challenge? No, I'm hearing just go straight into advice. Yeah, the emotions are just asking to be processed here. Look at what fell out. Strength. Advice. The Sun. And I didn't take strength. I didn't feel called to, but 9 of Wands at the bottom. Interesting. Let's pull an oracle card for your advice as well. Well, the Sun energy is, you know, it's interesting. It's kind of playing off of the moon in the 9 of Wands. And the 9 of Wands, I saw it when I saw the gray jail bars. Like I said, I immediately thought of the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. And there's a moon here in contrast to the sun. This feels like bringing the light of your conscious awareness to these deep emotions that you're trying to either avoid or just escape, you know. Let's get an oracle card. The Sun energy it's breakthrough energy. It's illumination. It is conscious awareness. So bringing your conscious awareness to this pattern, the pattern in the Taurus energy, the pattern in this repetition of the 8 of Pentacles, the pattern in the 9 of Wands. It's like bringing your awareness to the pattern. Balance. Bringing balance to your emotions. Reflect. Well, what's coming to me is how can you bring balance to this pattern, which is an interesting thing. How can you bring balance to this pattern? Well, what would be the opposite, right? If you're finding yourself in a circumstance that you've been in before, in some way, shape, or form, how can you react differently than you ever have? That is swinging the pendulum from one extreme to another, and therefore bringing balance. Reflect on that. And this isn't necessarily about, I feel like just this whole thing has got to be an inside-out process. So in the past, when you've experienced this kind of thing before, these emotions, these thoughts, the situation, whatever it is, when you've been here before in some way, yeah, it's like this is a shadow, this is an echo, okay, it's like this is the tail end of the pattern. You're on the edge of a breakthrough because you are actually ready to break this pattern. In the past, for whatever reason, it feels like you were not. But the emotions are so intense now. There's something you cannot get out of your head or out of your heart. There's something you need to get off of your chest. That just came through. And unraveling all of these emotions, reacting differently to your own emotions, thinking new thoughts in the face of this situation, maybe literally doing something you've never done before in this kind of situation. That is what will bring balance. That is the thing that will create a breakthrough. Okay. Hopefully that all makes sense. That was a lot. Okay. So I would say, just in general, to sum it all up here, the advice is to stop trying to escape the emotions, sink straight into them, hear what they have to say, recognize how these emotions are an echo of a pattern that has been playing throughout your life, and know that you are capable of breaking free of this pattern now, giving yourself a true fresh start, because you're not going to be running away from anything anymore. Giving yourself a truly clean slate in life, that cannot be born from an attempt to run away from something, because as long as you're still trying to run away from something, you're giving it your energy, you're feeding it, you're attracting it, you're manifesting it, right? So you want to stop running from what is in here. Recognize the pattern it's part of, and then consciously choose with your free will to react in a way you never have before to these emotions at this situation. Okay, let's get a couple journal prompts from my journal prompt deck. These journal prompts, as well as a few others, will be in the description box. They'll help you to process everything and take your inner work a little bit deeper. Journal prompt for Pisces, and then we'll get a closing message. Color red, going back to that, the color red is associated with the root chakra. So much of this is about your sense of security and safety from the inside out. I'm seeing a whale. I'm also getting whale energy here. Okay, what part of yourself do you want to get to know better? And, I love myself because... Absolutely beautiful. So answer those journal prompts for yourself, see where they take you. Closing message from the Earth and Bone Oracle by Syrian Shadow. Closing message for Pisces. You can also call upon any of these animal energies that have come forward for you. I would say especially owl, and now I'm feeling whale. Owl and whale. You can channel those animal spirits, work with them in whatever way you feel called. Maybe do a meditation with those animal spirits. Closing message for Pisces. Number 24, beloved. Love, reciprocity, and intertwinement. All right, let's see what the guidebook says. So maybe for some of you, 33 on the timer, this is about an intimate relationship. Doesn't have to be romantic. Take it how it resonates. Spirit is pleading with you to learn to love yourself as much as you are loved by others. In the spiritual realm, your guides love you unconditionally. Allow yourself to discover and create your own sense of authenticity. You're still in the process of learning. You're eliminating fears and obstacles. And by doing so, you'll be able to teach people about their own lives while also learning the truth about the other side. You have so much to give in terms of love. Give it freely. Your mission is to investigate every complex channel of your existence and learn everything you can. With your awareness of your purpose, you bring healing to so many people who are saddened because they are experiencing exactly where you are: suppression and fear of being true to themselves. In the meantime, learn as much as you can and experience exactly what you want. Do what you love and it will lead you where you need to go. Spirit is saying that they always have your back. You will always have enough. Do not act out of fear. Do not run. Let go and trust that your path is designed for so much abundance. Trust it, follow it, give others a reason to be true to themselves. Set a standard of living by example through love. By accepting everyone without judgment, including yourself, you teach the art of authenticity. No one is perfect, and no one is less. No one is better or more right. No one is any more important than anyone else. Affirmation. I embrace, accept, and reciprocate the love that is bestowed upon me from the universe. Yeah. What would someone who loves themselves do in your situation? That is one of my favorite questions ever by Teal Swan. What would someone who loves themselves do in your situation? They wouldn't run from themselves, right? They would embrace exactly where they are. Embrace those emotions, right? They're teaching you about, well, in this moment, what I'm hearing is these emotions are teaching you about what you don't want. And once you know what you don't want, you're getting more and more clarity and discernment, Queen of Swords, about what you do want. And then you can start to pour your energy into what you do want rather than running from what you don't, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Thank you for letting me read for you, Pisces. I hope this was helpful or at least thought-provoking. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I would love to hear from you. And like I said, the journal prompts and all my links will be in the description box. I'll see you again soon. Bye.